playing this hero I'm at level 1 with. And that was kind of happening in the beginning a bit, which is why Blizzard had put on kind of some level requirements for you to be able to, you had to at least own 10 heroes to play.
Yeah. And you have to be level 30.
Right.
Player level 30.
Player level 30. So once again, and John probably put the biggest gate, you got to be able to get your own player avatar up to level 30 in order to even get into Hero League. So it's going to take a while for you to do that. So Hero League is something to strive for. It's fun to play. I've obviously played a lot of Hero League as well, but it's not necessarily something you need to go for if you're brand new and it's week 1 or week 2 for you playing this game.
Yeah, it's an exciting way to play. It's a lofty goal, and it took me a while to get used to this concept. And Ben, tell me if this has hit you yet or not. When I first got into this game, I was like, well, I'm here, I want to win. I win against the computer, so I guess that's as far as I'm going to go. Like, that was my initial mindset. It was this very passive, like, I don't know, I just want to play the game and win and feel good about myself. So I guess that's what I'll stick with. And then at a certain point, I was like, this is just not challenging to the point of, it's not even really fun anymore. I need to challenge myself. Let me go get into quick matches. Oh my gosh, here's an actual challenge. This is exciting. This is great. This feels good. And now, same thing with Hero League. You've got the added challenge of the draft. I go into Hero League and it's not like, well, yeah, I'll play Sylvanas. I go into the Hero League and I think, well, okay, ideally I'd like to play Sylvanas, but if I can't play as her, maybe not Tyrael. I don't like Tyrael. Maybe Tassadar. If not Tassadar, then maybe I'll go with Thrall. If not Thrall and we need a warrior, maybe I'll go with Diablo. You kind of have to be thinking about multiple things rather than just, I'm going to play this hero and I'm going to do well at it. And it gets even deeper because in the case of Hero League, you know what map you're getting. And there are some heroes that are better on certain maps than others. So you have that to think about. You get to see what the enemy team is picking. So you get the concept of counters. They pick an Illidan, I'm going to pick a Brightwing because Brightwing is a very good counter to Illidan. You kind of learn this nice little
combos as well. So it's like Illidan and Rhaegar work well together. They've got an Illidan their first 2 pick. Somebody who's good on our team that's playing Rhaegar. You take Rhaegar away from them or else they're going to smoke us. That you're going to have to kind of think about.
Yeah, so it's an exciting additional game on top of that. Team League, I don't know if we need to necessarily talk about it because now we're talking, Hero League's already well above new players. Team League's about to get a bunch of new changes anyway, including not only getting to, what's the word? I can't even think of it. Draft, but also ban. And once you get into the territory of drafts and bans, that's even more exciting because now you've got the other team telling you, well, nobody gets to pick this hero. So it builds and it gets more exciting. And this is the thing that should be driving new players to kind of bring it back to people who are new. This is how the game evolves and gets more exciting as you progress along. This is why you don't want to get to AI and say, well, I'm done. I'm cashing in my chips right here at this level. It just gets bigger and better as you go.
Yeah, and as someone who I was, adamantly, let's fight the AI, because, I like that feeling of winning a lot. But, I've started branching off into, quick matches and everything like that. And I gotta say that some of the best plays that I've ever been involved with have been against other people. And the fact that that it's another person that you just totally, bamboozled into doing something or tricked them into chasing you and then, having the Raptor Pack attack them, something like that. It's kind of a lot more rewarding. And, in all honesty, that's when you see, the tides of battle either, going back and forth the entire match or they're 4 levels ahead of you and there's no chance you're going to win. So, either way it goes. But like John said, losing is part of this game. You know what? When you lose, take it as a learning lesson. Know what to do next time.
Yeah, you actually have to really take your losses. If you're like a player that's coming from World of Warcraft, and this is a World of Warcraft podcast, and you've raided, for example, you lose from wiping. If you've done PvP, you lose from not winning a battleground, for example, or an arena match. So you can't. We all know that we learn best through failure, and losing matches in Heroes is fine. It's good. It's great because you're going to learn and you're going to get better. And also, the matches only last 15 to 20 minutes at the most, for the most part. It's not like League where you're dumping an hour of your time into a loss. So, if you lose, and especially if you lose quick, just requeue and keep playing. And one thing I don't think we've invited players to do is to really check resources for builds. If you're really struggling with a hero and you're not successful, and now you're on your third hero and you're like, I don't think this game works for me, head to a website like heroesfire.com. Click on the hero you're playing and look at the build of that player that is the top ranked or most current at the time. And that build, take that build, see how it's different from the talents that you're selecting for your hero, and just change what you're doing and try again. And I guarantee you're going to find more success doing that than just trying to bang your head against your desk.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Absolutely. So kind of the last section on this roundtable, what I think I would like to do, like I said, I've been doing some videos, I've had chat room ask, I've had people whisper me in WoW or, while I'm even playing Heroes with some common questions about the game. So I'm going to we'll kind of go somewhat quick around the room, see what everybody thinks on these questions, what their opinions are. Ben, we'll go ahead and start with you on the first one. What type of hero should I start with?
A fun one. In all honesty, I would start with some sort of assassin, just because, it's straightforward. Go kill stuff. And then once you've, got a little bit under your belt, then maybe switch to a tank, kind of see what that's all about. But understand you're not going to be doing the same type of damage. Look at a support. Understand, again, not going to be doing the same type of damage. But if you just want to get in and play, I really recommend an assassin.
Mick, what about you? Do you think that's the best way to go?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're coming from World of Warcraft, like a lot of your listeners are going to, you're used to the trifecta, right? Healing, damage, and tanking. Guess what? Those things are still a thing in Heroes of the Storm, just slightly less, how should we say this? Less firm in their distinctions than others. So, yeah, you can actually take a support class and kind of spec them into damage and do pretty decent. But I would agree with Ben that you want to pick a survivable hero that's in the assassin class and get to use just the mechanics of getting and killing heroes and that kind of fun stuff. You then kind of gravitate as you would as a World of Warcraft player to the more pressure-oriented roles like the warrior and support. And then figure if that's something. Now, if you come from World of Warcraft and you've been raiding and you're a healer and you love to heal and that's your thing, then yeah, maybe give a support class a try, because you're going to be used to the kind of same mentality of who's almost dead and who do I have to save, who do I have to decide is going to die. But if you are coming to Heroes from World of Warcraft as a DPS player, then you logically go to damage and check that out.
I think that's right. I will say one thing to add to that is I do not think tanking in WoW translates to tanking in Heroes, simply because tanking in Heroes is a little bit different. It's not always about just stand there and take damage. That's certainly a part of it, but as a warrior in Heroes, your role tends to fall more in line of setting up plays, is what I typically call it. I think that tends to be the nomenclature that gets used for it, but you really want to create opportunities for people to take down targets. If you're playing as Diablo, you want to do that thing where you pick them up over your shoulder and knock them back into the group and let your teammates swarm on one guy and drop them down. That's not the same kind of mechanic as I'm going to stand here and just, get beat up a bunch and buy you all time to kill him. For some heroes, that is a little bit of the case. Johanna, the most recent one, definitely takes a lot of damage. Muradin can certainly become an unstoppable force by the end. But tanking is a little trickier, is a little different. I wouldn't say necessarily trickier, but it's different. It's not that one-to-one transfer of, if you're DPS in WoW, you're going to DPS, you want to do damage in that. If you want to heal, you heal. Tanking gets a little little muddled. But I would agree. I think warrior and support are a good way to start, depending on where your interest is there. Ben, what hero is a good starter hero?
Raynor.
Mick, what hero is a good starter hero?
Raynor.
John, what hero is a good starter hero? Vala.
Oh.
I'm going to be the dissenting opinion, because I think Raynor is nice because, yes, you don't have to press the E key ever with him, but you can cause a lot of frustration with your Q key in general. And I don't know. There's a balance there. I think Raynor's a good starting hero, but
So
I would say Vala more.
Here's where John is wrong on that. Even though I recommended Vala for assassin and damage early in the show, what's tricky about Vala is heroic that everyone picks, for the most part, is strafe, which means she spins around in a circle and shoots her arrows at everybody, and a big AoE damage effect. And a lot of folks think that's awesome, it's great, and it is awesome and great, but it actually takes some skill to handle, and you can get it interrupted, and you can die really quickly going in heroic. Mm-hmm. Whereas Raynor, on the other hand, has two very viable heroics, and both of those heroics have a very slim chance of getting him killed. So that's why I would always favor Raynor over Vala as a top beginner pick.
I will say, though, that if you got the collector's edition of Reaper of Souls, you have Vala. Congratulations.
Yeah, sure. So it might not be an issue. It might be the hero that you start with simply on account of having her. But I mean, I think what that illustrates, though, is there are tricks to all of them, right? Mm-hmm. You know, with Vala, she might be a little more friendly in that you can't really mess up your teammates as much, but her ultimates are a little trickier. And they both are tricky, because even the other one, while it's a little bit more useful, there's a skill shot element to it that might be difficult for new players, because it's a real stubby area of effect that she gets to operate with that. But with Raynor, same deal. You can really mess up your team depending on when and where you decide to use your pushback shot, that I don't remember the name of it, but on the other hand, his heroics are really, really good, because that's true. They are. And nothing annoys me more than a Hyperion blocking me from going where I want to go.
Hate that so much.
It takes up the whole friggin' lane. It's such a good heroic, but it's annoying every time it comes at me.
Match it with ETC and you're just dead.
So, Ben. Oh, wait, we already asked this question. We're going to go to the next one. What's the best way to level, Ben?
To play the game that doesn't involve preset matches.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. Mick, what's the best way to level?
Best way to level yourself as a player, or best way to level a hero?
I'm going to say both.
Okay. Well, actually, both. Kind of the answer is probably really tied together. Yeah, it depends if you're on a budget. If you're on a budget, then this tip will not help you. But if you're not on a budget and you have money to spend, go pay the $9.99 for a 30-day stim pack and get that activated, because it gives you 100% XP bonus. So you're going to level faster, 100%. You're going to level twice as fast as you would without the stim pack. So that's the number one tip that I would give to anybody. So if you got $10 to spare, then you're like, should I get a skin? I would say no. How about you get a bunch of heroes up to level 5 instead by getting a stim pack? Mm-hmm. Jump into, like I said before, jump into AI matches, level that hero at least up 1 to 4 in AI matches to get all of your talents unlocked, which for you as a new player, unless you're level 25 as a player, you'll have gated abilities, and you don't want to take gated abilities into a quick match. So once you have unlocked all of your abilities by level 4, then jump into quick match, then level him up to 5, because you're going to get a little bit stronger bonus of leveling that hero up to 5. It shouldn't take you very long to level a hero from 1 to 5. I find for me, it takes me maybe one night of playing, maybe an hour to an hour and a half to level a character from a raw 1 to a level 5.
Yeah, I can see that.
If I have my impact on.
Yeah. I'm going to say avoid stim packs until you feel like you've got a pretty good grasp on the game. For one thing, it's going to save you money. For two, my only concern is that people get up to too high of a level before they're really familiar, and then they start jumping into Hero League, or they have, I mean, even at level 25, they have access all of a sudden to all the talents for every character that pops up, and maybe that's a little overwhelming for them, but 25 is still, it's going to take a little while to get to, so maybe it's not ultimately a big deal. But best way to level is quick matches, honestly. So the sooner you can get yourself into a position to get into quick matches, that's going to benefit you in a lot of ways. It's going to make you a better player because you're going to be playing against other people. It's going to be making you, it's going to be getting you more experience, even for a loss. Yeah, it's just going to be better overall. So it's going to get you over that fear of getting into quick matches, which it's okay to be afraid to get into quick matches. I had it. I was nervous the first time I went into quick matches. Mm-hmm. I had my first one. I think I lost really badly, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go back to AI. And I think I stayed that way for a little while. But it's okay. You got to kind of get over it. So that's important.
Yeah. I've often seen players literally in chat just say, like, I'm going back to AI. This is awful, and I would say to them, no, you're just experiencing a challenge, and you can get to a point where you match the challenge that you're at, and you should just give it a try and keep playing. I mean, yes, you're going to level a character up faster in quick matches for sure, but don't take those heroes without unlocked abilities into a quick match. That's just asking for you to get yelled at because other folks can see the talents you pick, folks. If you're not picking talents that they think you should be picking, they're going to let you know.
Which, by the way, that's also a really nice tip. If you see somebody playing a character you want to play really well, on the stats screen at the end of the match, you can see what talents they picked. Mm-hmm. So if you want to try that build out yourself, you can. It's a nice way to go. I have done that before. It's part of what made me decide what I wanted to do for my Vala build. So there's that. Ben, what is the best way to earn gold?
Remember the best way to, level?
Uh-huh.
Same thing.
Great. Mick, what is the best way to earn gold?
Leveling your characters up to level 5 and getting your dailies done. And if you can do those at the same time, you're going to earn a ton of gold. I, for the heck of it, decided to go check my gold count right now. And this is one thing a lot of new players get really upset about is gold. Like, oh, it's so hard to get gold in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm currently sitting on almost 20K in gold right now. Oh. And I don't think I'm doing that much crazy stuff to earn that amount of gold.
Yeah, I'm at 10K right now.
I think I'm at 12.
Yeah.
Which I'm saving for a master skin when I level someone up to 10.
More experienced players, if you're hearing me and going, well, I've got all my heroes at level 5, so how am I supposed to earn that gold? I'm going to say, keep leveling them up to 10, bro, because then you get like 2,500 gold when you get up to 10. So, but always, every match you're going to win gold. You're going to win more if you win in quick match for a victory, obviously, than a loss, and same with AI play. But you're going to get gold just by playing as well. So there you go.
Also, stim packs also get you gold. Stim packs are my least favorite thing about the game, because I feel like with a stim pack, the game plays the way I would feel like the game should play by default. But then I have to remind myself I bought a stim pack to get that to happen. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It doesn't get you a ton more gold. It gets you a little bit more gold, a little bit more experience. But I think the game feels better with a stim pack. So I very rarely play without it. They're on sale right now, so you can feel a little better about that. But I would say probably that's the one area with the pricing model that I go, meh, because that's actually getting the game to play in a way that I think feels better, and it costs money to do so. But then again, I give WoW $15 a month, and I'm playing this way more than I've been playing WoW, so
there you go.
It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Ben, what are some good resources that I can use if I want more information about Heroes of the Storm?
Well, a website that you kind of turned me on to is heroesfire.com. They have some really good builds for different characters. In fact, that you gave me a great Muradin build that I've been using. I found a really good Jaina one that I really liked. I think when I took a crack at Vala because I had a play 2 matches as a Diablo character, quest. I'm like, I don't have any Diablo characters except her, and she was level 1, so I found a pretty decent one there too. So I definitely recommend heroesfire.com.
Mick, what are some good resources I can use if I want more information about Heroes of the Storm?
Well, I think the number one thing you should do is probably download Stormcast over at stormcastshow.com. It's available on iTunes and Stitcher, so give that a shot. After that, Heroes Fire is great. It's a fantastic website. It is actually run and developed by Forecourt Jester, who is a well-known personality in esports and especially the Heroes community. Fairness, blah, 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 blah. HeroesNexus.com is also a good, solid build site if you want to go over there. There's some good stuff that is put up there that's run by the folks, I think, at the ZAM Network. It's associated with Curse. So some good stuff there as well. But my go-to is Heroes Fire over that website more often than not. And then after that, let's see here. The streamers that if you are into watching folks stream gameplay, Gillyweed is good to watch. Caldor is good to watch. My co-host from Stormcast, if you're up late at night, Another Notch over on Twitch is good to watch if you're trying to learn about the game and maybe have some fun. Those are folks that are definitely doing that. If you're following personalities, Kevin Pearson, I think from from Town Hall Heroes is a good guy to follow. Even though he's speaking mostly to an esports community on his show, he then has put some really good content, I think, up in terms of builds. His Diablo build, I think, is still probably the most widely accepted as the build of builds for Diablo. Let's see who else. There's also, I mentioned some of the other good podcasts out there that I definitely, want to check out as well. Those are the ones that I would go to. If you're really interested in tracking your statistics, you're really one of those statistics folks and like to analyze those things, there's a site called hero.gg, which is kind of got an association with heroesfire.com. It downloads a little client, like a lightweight client on your computer, and it will track stats for you if you open up a profile. So you upload your gameplay, and from your gameplay, it is able to parse out your statistics and tell you what your best heroes are and what your most successful maps are, and kind of give you a little bit more in-depth statistical analysis than what's available in the game.
Interesting.
John, what are some places that you might go to get more information about Heroes of the Storm? Well, funny you should mention that, John. I actually do a scrub guide to some heroes at youtube.com/AzerothRT. You can check those out. There's also a video that gives some nice beginner tips for new players where I don't follow any of my own advice while I play. You can listen to me say, hey, don't over chase while I'm over chasing the enemy. It's great. It's a really good video of do what I say, not what you see. But there is a reason it's called the Scrubbed Guide, and that is because I am by no means an expert on this game. I feel like I am knowledgeable. I feel like I do a good job, but I am by no means a pro. All of the places that Ben and Mick have named are good. I would also throw out hotslogs.com if you want another real stat-heavy website. I'm actually looking at it right now because I couldn't remember the exact address, but I have my stats pulled up right now, and currently the hero that I have the best win percentage with is Zagara, so take that for what you will. But I haven't played that many games with her, so I don't know if that actually balances out in any real meaningful way. I think Sylvanas still ultimately pulls ahead because she's got way more experience and time played, so... but it's a cool way to kind of see what's going on. It guesses. I think it guesses at what your MMR would be. I don't know if it knows, but then again, I don't know how all this arcane science behind the scenes works. That's another good resource. Podcasts out there, YouTube videos, all sorts of stuff. This episode of this show, all good resources, but there is no substitute for good old-fashioned experience. So if you want to know more about Heroes of the Storm, I recommend you just play it.
Yeah, and right now is the best time to do it because everyone can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
exactly.
It's free.
And we love it.
We do love it. We just devoted a really long episode to it.
Yep, so long that we are skipping Celebrity Murloc Theater this week. Thank you for the submissions from DG and Jack of Skulls. We will hopefully get to them later, but long episode.
We're going to count it as a week that got played, but we got to move on. We will take a brief moment to say, though, Ben, you know what I like about Heroes?
A lot.
Skin options and variety.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to get a new skin for your hero, you can buy that in the Blizzard store, as Uther the Lightbringer will tell you. If you want a skin change for yourself, you just need to go to /loot.com.
Really?
Click on
get
podcasts.
A whole new skin?
A whole new skin for yourself. You're going to get to be Azeroth Roundtable, Ben.
All right. I think I'll do that right now.
Darn right. /loot.com.
Yep.
Click
Another
on
way
podcast.
to another way to change the skin of your keys, go to geekasylum.etsy.com, and you can get yourself a brand new Azeroth Roundtable keychain as well. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Keys change skin. Keys change. Yeah, I can't talk anymore. Mick, how can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Mick Montgomery. For this show, it'd probably be best to, obviously, we've already mentioned stormcastshow.com, but I also do The Starting Zone, which you can find at thestartingzone.com. That's a World of Warcraft podcast. All the shows that I do and all the stuff that we do is all part of a production company called Spazbot Studios, which you can find at spazbotstudios.com. And then last but certainly not least, my shows are all a member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. So if you want to check that out, go to signalsmedia.com. And last but not least, for your listeners, if you want to get a free Jinx.com t-shirt, we are doing a free contest, which we call our Best Hero Ever, #Best Hero Ever contest. So if you send us like a statistic screen or a video capture of an awesome play that you did, you can tweet it to us at Stormcast Show over on Twitter. You can email it to us at stormcastshow@gmail.com, and you will be entered to win a free t-shirt. We're giving one away from Jinx.com, one of their Heroes of the Storm t-shirts, either the Murky Pufferfish Taco shirt, or as I'm wearing tonight, but you can't see on the stream, the Diablo's Hot Sauce t-shirt. You can go get one of those for free from them, and you can win that by obviously sending us some awesome stuff that you do in Heroes of the Storm. So feel free to do that.
All right, John, how can people find you?
If you want to find more from me, you can follow me on Twitter. That's at John_Jagger. You can also find me here as well as on the NVIDIA stream along with Scott Johnson every Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep, if you're looking for me, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at AlTheMage. I do a show called Geektopia. I do a show called Battle Pets. Definitely check them out. I have fun on them. I hope you do too. As for this show, you can also follow us on Twitter at AzerothRT. Of course, YouTube, AzerothRT there as well. If you have any questions, comments, want to suggest heroes that you like to play, send an email to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And of course, you can listen to us at any time on Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, and AzerothRoundtable.com. All of our episodes are there, including this one after I get it posted. Last but not least, our intro contains music from Volatile Reaction by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at incompetech.com. And I really wish that storm was still going on, like thunder would just hit right there. That would have been perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with a more WoW-focused show, but for now, we're celebrating heroes.
Heroes! And that's a show.
That's a show.
That is a show. I'm saving the file because it's a show.
It's a show faux show.
Hey, Mick, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Boy, that was a long show.
Yes, it was. Much longer than we expected, but you know what? Well worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I expected the news to maybe go a little bit quicker than it did.
Me too.
Well, we got into story conversations, and that got stirred up.
It happens. It happens. Alpha Geek listeners, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and stop that stream, so bye, Alpha Geek.
Bye, Ben.
That's how they sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're not like the chat room on Twitch. It was like, hi, Ben and John. It's great seeing you guys once again. As always, I'm so happy. Yeah. Wow, wonderful in it.
Cool. Fun. That was awesome. And, yeah, Heroes is great.
Yeah.
Heroes,
Yeah.
Heroes is great.
we forgot to make the point during the show too that as Overwatch approaches, it's like, oh look, another game to eat into my World of Warcraft.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I almost talked about the only thing that's going to drag me away from Heroes is possibly Overwatch.
Yeah. The only real difference when I went in to play Heroes of the Storm when it was kind of shown at BlizzCon in 2013, I really didn't know exactly which hero I was going to play, and I was kind of screwing around. I got so much time on Overwatch when it was in demo at BlizzCon this last year. I know exactly which of the champions I'm going to be tackling when that game comes out.
And who's that?
Who is it?
What's the Bastion, the robot?
Oh, the turret one?
Yeah, the guy that turns into a Gatling gun turret.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a fun one.
That guy was a real jerk to us in one of the matches we played.
Yeah, so he was a lot of fun. I also think that the Reaper is a lot of fun as well. But and I saw the hero that drove me the most nuts in Overwatch playing against was the Hanzo character, the guy with the bow and arrow.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one that I would turn around and just see an arrow stick me in the eye.
Yeah, that guy was rough to deal with. I really liked playing Tracer. I knew I was going to. I really like the fast, overly twitchy gameplay that comes with Tracer, so I knew I was going to really glom onto her, and sure enough, I really enjoyed it. And then there was a match where there were like 5 people playing Tracer, and I was like, oh, I gotta play as somebody else, 'cause we can't all be Tracer, I guess. So I don't even remember who I picked, because apparently everybody else thought that way, and I think I died once, and I was like, I'm going back to Tracer. If not even playing Tracer.
Right. Well, that's the weird thing too about that mechanic of that game is I think you can change your hero mid-game.
Yeah, you can.
And so if you don't know if you're not playing well, it's not like Heroes where if you're like, man, I picked a bad time to shoot for Gazlowe. There's nothing you could do about it. Whereas in that game, it's like, well, my Tracer's not playing so great, so I'm going to swap over to Hanzo, and it'll totally work.
Well, at least on the demo, that's what it was like. Hopefully they actually hold that in there, because I think that that's going to actually add a lot more, strategy to the game. And I know that they were talking about having only like one of each character on each team as well. So, who knows?
Yeah, I think if they go to a free-to-play model where you have to buy heroes, I can't imagine they're going to allow you to change mid-match, because I feel like that might actually be an advantage-disadvantage type thing. I don't know, though. It's hard to say. It's weird. It's a weird concept to me.
Well, have they said that they want to have it as a free-to-play model?
They have not. It's just that's what everybody kind of suspects.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. But then again,
Hell,
I think it's a little tougher for them to make money off of skins in that game, because that's a lot more investment in time and trying to develop that than what we see in Heroes right now. Hero skins are a little bit simpler to design than a fully 3D model skins would be.
Right.
Hey, I pay full price for Overwatch. Just from the little bit that I played, I love that game.
Yeah. Seems like a cool game. I don't know. I can see them going with almost a Guild Wars style approach to it, where you release a core thing, and then later here's the expansion pack that gets you, 5 new heroes added to the game. You just got maybe a couple new maps, whatever. You just got to pay for that. But it always gets weird when you do that, because when you add maps and things like that, like, what do you do then? Do you then put people into now if you want to queue for a match, you have to go into the special queue, which always bugs me with the Call of Duty type stuff. Because I feel like it's almost killing your own game when you do that if people don't all adopt it. So I don't know. Maybe they go with the maps are free but heroes are not sort of attitude. I don't know. It's weird. I'll be very curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to play a game of Heroes?
Yeah, well, you definitely can if you guys rep for it.
Oh, yeah. I need like a couple minutes, but then I will definitely be ready.
Okay. I'll stream it. So we'll take a quick little break so people can feel like a human being again.
Thank you.
Then we'll be back with Heroes of the Storm.
All right. So chat room, we'll be back in a tiny bit. Thanks for stopping by. And